basically another Chinese console that's very cheaply made, has very little power.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video game console ripoffs.
Analog sticks work. Oh god, that's not a good start.
It's doing that thing again where they've put the wrong game with the wrong screen or whatever, and it's actually Thunderbolt Airplane, isn't it? Just showing with the Super Mary graphics.
And Super Joy.
Super Joy. So it brings you Super Joy.
What is this product? Power Player or Super Joy?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most baffling video game console clones and knockoffs that have tried to ride off the success of other famous consoles. Be prepared to rip your hair out and scream, "Why?" What do you think of these ridiculous console ripoffs? Any we missed? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. X-Game 360.
Ojo, porque aquí abajo hay un manual que está bastante bien traducido, debe ser lo que más vale de la consola.
The name sounds like your granddad tried and failed to relate to your hip new gaming hobbies. Similar machines to this have been released in the past, often being a combination of the PS2 and Xbox 360. However, it's nowhere near as advanced as its packaging might suggest.
Aquí tenemos el F1 Race, es uno de esos juegos de carreras que en su momento...
It's a Famiclone, which emulates Famicom or NES generation titles, some of which have really weird texture replacements. Ever wanted to play the classic Mario Bros, but as a Teletubby? Well, this might be the console for you. But nowadays, it's almost just as cheap to pick up a pre-owned original console than it is to invest in knockoffs like this.
Digo entre comillas porque los mandos son un auténtico desastre desastroso.
Number 9. Powkiddy.
Powkiddy are renowned for making retro handhelds, and they're not the best makers out there, you know, they make some cheap, funny stuff.
This Nintendo Switch/PlayStation Vita fusion is more competent than some of the other entries on this list, but the bar for that isn't very high. While it sports the color scheme of the Nintendo Switch, the machine emulates preloaded games mostly from the NES to Game Boy era. It does have some PlayStation games also on the SD card, but playing them is a bit adventurous for a console this cheap as it struggles to keep up with frame rates. These types of low-cost emulation consoles are very commonplace on online marketplaces, but that doesn't mean all of them are very good. And in the case of the Powkiddy, better to keep waiting in line for a Switch.
Analog sticks work. Oh god, that's not a good start.
Number 8. PCP Station.
There is the PCP Station. Yes, because it's always a good idea to name your fake toys after some sort of horrifying mind-bending drug.
Don't worry, this PCP won't set the sniffer dogs barking, but it'll definitely get you made fun of at school. The PSP is a console with a surprising amount of clones, some with absolutely ridiculous names like the RS02X9 or CT821X7, mostly featured on sites like Alibaba. However, this handheld gaming machine is by far the worst of the bunch.
Can't appear to shoot through the clouds. So I'm the sort of A10 thing at the Cessna or something at the bottom, got to shoot the aeroplane up the top.
While other ripoffs will try to give you somewhat of a gaming experience with emulated games, this product features LCD games that you pop in for a thoroughly lame experience. When an entire computer can fit in your pocket nowadays, you can't help but wonder why consoles like this still make it to market.
It's doing that thing again where they've put the wrong game with the wrong screen or whatever, and it's actually Thunderbolt Airplane, isn't it? Just showing with the Super Mary graphics.
Number 7. Jungle Tack V. Jungle Tack Interactive is a sly Chinese manufacturer that produces 8-bit to 16-bit games and consoles. The company reportedly didn't intend for the Sport V to be as advanced as the Nintendo Wii, but instead a cheap console with built-in games. However, it's hard to believe that they weren't trying to ride the wave when they released it multiple times, once under the name Chintendo V.
So there we have it. That is the infamous Chintendo, or in this case Kensington V. And overall it was pretty good.
The thing is though, while a lot of games on this list are pirated or hacked games, the V featured mostly original games, albeit they did take inspiration from the gameplay in Wii Sports.
4, 7.
Number 6. Neo Double Games.
Neo Double Games. Hooray! Right, as you can see from the front, it's a complete rip-off of Nintendo's DS.
This rip-off is so shockingly underwhelming, it's offensive. While the flimsy casing does resemble a Nintendo DS, it is nothing like the hit portable system. Instead, it sports exchangeable LCD screens rather than game cartridges, which will greatly disappoint any child at Christmas.
Oh, I see. I think I'm supposed to protect the little bases at the bottom, not blow them up.
While it does have multiple 8-bit games like Soccer, Street Fighter, Submarine Invasion, and Fortress Guardian, the second screen doesn't work, instead acting as a holster for another LCD game to switch with. Some of the buttons don't even do anything. And this isn't the only Game & Watch style fooling consoles, with the WILL or WLL hitting shelves. This knockoff is the prime example to not judge a game console by its design.
Away with you all! Cursed things.
Number 5. Treamcast.
Wow, there they even got the name wrong. Treamcast, but there it's called Treamcast. Treamcast.
Imagine if an unofficial clone of your favorite console turned out to be even better than the original. Typically, when you get a ripoff made in China, you expect it to struggle to operate. The Treamcast turned out to be ahead of its time, just like the original. This smaller knockoff functioned mostly like the original Dreamcast, with one small modification. A screen was connected to the top, making it somewhat portable.
Spin the disc, and it works. I don't know. I didn't design it.
It played games from any region and was created using original Sega parts, making it compatible with normal releases, controllers, and add-ons. While it was definitely not authorized by Sega, it has become somewhat of a collector's item among fans.
Did you insert a memory card?
No, I did not.
Number 4. Power Player Super Joy 3.
And Super Joy.
Super Joy.
So
it
what-
brings you Super Joy.
What is this product? Power Player or Super Joy?
A light gun, a Nintendo 64 controller, and a Sega controller? Imagine the possibilities! Unfortunately, it doesn't nearly have the variety the controllers might entail. It's another Famiclone, with the games loaded straight into the controllers like a plug-and-play rather than through a separate console.
Does it work well? Not good.
The controllers didn't even work half the time, and there were reports of the machines melting after prolonged use. This console, which was sold publicly in shopping mall kiosks, was subject to an FBI investigation in 2004, which led to several arrests. But that hasn't stopped the odd clone popping up at the flea market.
Some freaking company in Malaysia, China, Korea, wherever this was made, they didn't want to take the time.
Number 3. Rambo TV Game. There is a market out there for video games that feature popular celebrities and characters, so some companies thought, why not try it with consoles as well? Don't like the PlayStation 1? How about the Batman? With 2 T's. The second T is for tragically not available in my area, but it's this early knockoff that takes the cake. See that Atari 2600? Trash. Throw it out! The Rambo TV games? Why wouldn't you buy it when a shirtless Sylvester Stallone is on the box? This strange product features an easily breakable build quality and some pirated games, being mostly mediocre. Now, all it's good for is a funny image to have on a WatchMojo list. Number 2. Soulja Boy's Soulja Game.
That's very cheaply made, has very little power, but comes with preloaded games, which is 100% illegal.
Guess who this man was trying to scam? You! The story behind this line of consoles will both confuse and frustrate you. American rapper Soulja Boy announced on Twitter he was making a jump into the game industry with the Soulja game. The problem was, it was an obvious Chinese bootleg with his name stickered on the side.
But yes, it is just a console with a bunch of ROMs on it, and yes, it does run at exactly half the horsepower of a Super Nintendo.
But even though everybody could see this was a bad idea, he continued to release consoles one after the other. False advertising and poor performance could be yours, all for an incredibly overinflated price. The rapper was notified by Nintendo that he should stop what he was doing, leading to some unfortunate responses from the wannabe entrepreneur.
It's basically the same thing, except I'm pretty sure I think it runs even slower.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Polystation. The Polystation is by no means the least powerful on this list, but it has a storied history. While the appearance does resemble the Sony PlayStation quite closely, it's what is beneath the hood that makes the difference. It went under many names, trying to confuse your boomer relatives. There are even redesigns trying to capitalize off the PlayStation 2 and 3.
How are we going to do this? I shall try and control it with one hand.
But regardless of which one you picked, the inside never changes. You'll find yourself playing early bootlegged and hacked Nintendo games that will leave you even more confused than when you bought it. It might be a good prank on your friends though.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.